Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly accumulate wealth while others struggle paycheck to paycheck their entire lives? What if I told you there are 5 ancient principles that separate the wealthy from the broke? And once you understand them, you'll never look at money the same way again. Today we're diving deep into the 5 laws of gold, timeless wealth principles that have been quietly building fortunes for centuries, while most people remain completely unaware of their existence. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the rich keep getting richer and how you can apply these same laws to transform your financial future. But here's what most people don't realize about wealth building. It's not about getting lucky, having rich parents, or stumbling into the right opportunity at the right time. The wealthy follow specific patterns of behavior that compound over time, creating an almost unstoppable momentum toward financial success. Meanwhile, those who stay poor unknowingly violate these same principles day after day. Let's start with the first law of gold, which might surprise you because it goes against everything you've been taught about money. This law states that gold comes gladly and in increasing quantity to any person who puts aside not less than 1/10 of their earnings to create an estate for their future and that of their family. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is just another boring savings lecture, understand that this isn't about stuffing money under your mattress. This law is about creating a systematic approach to wealth accumulation that works regardless of your income level. Whether you make $30,000 or $300,000 a year, the principle remains the same. The wealthy understand that paying yourself first isn't optional. It's the foundation of every fortune ever built. They treat their future selves as their most important creditor. Think about it this way. When you get your paycheck, who gets paid first? Your landlord, your credit card company, your car payment, everyone except you. But wealthy people flip this script entirely. Here's where it gets interesting. The second law of gold reveals why most people's money seems to disappear without them even noticing. Gold labors diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field multiply. This law is about making your money work harder than you do. While poor people think about trading time for money, wealthy people think about making money work independently of their time. They understand the difference between being an employee of money versus being an employer of money. When you put your money to work in investments, businesses, or income-generating assets, you're following this ancient principle. Your money starts earning money, which then earns more money, creating what Einstein allegedly called the 8th wonder of the world, compound interest. But here's the crucial part most people miss. You need to be patient enough to let this process work. The third law of gold is where things get really interesting, and this is where most people sabotage themselves without even realizing it. Gold clings to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. Notice the key word here, cautious. The wealthy don't gamble with their money, they invest it strategically. They seek advice from people who have successfully built wealth themselves, not from broke people with opinions about money. This seems obvious, yet most people do the exact opposite. Think about how many people take financial advice from friends and family members who are struggling financially themselves. Or worse, they follow get-rich-quick schemes promoted by people who make their money selling courses about getting rich quick, not from actually being rich. Wealthy people understand that protecting their capital is just as important as growing it. They'd rather earn steady, consistent returns than risk everything chasing the next big thing. This conservative approach might seem boring, but boring builds fortunes. Now we come to the fourth law of gold, and this one hits close to home for a lot of people. Gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. How many times have you seen someone lose money investing in something they didn't understand? Cryptocurrency, stocks they heard about from a random YouTube video, or business opportunities that sounded too good to be true. This law is about staying in your lane and being brutally honest about your knowledge limitations. The wealthy spend enormous amounts of time studying before they invest. They read, they research, they consult experts, and they start small to test their theories. They never put significant money into something they don't deeply understand, no matter how promising it sounds. But poor people often do the opposite. They invest emotionally, chase hot tips, and jump into opportunities without doing their homework. They treat investing like gambling instead of like business. The fifth and final law of gold might be the most important of all, and it's definitely the one that separates those who build lasting wealth from those who make money and lose it just as quickly. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. This law is about having realistic expectations and avoiding the psychological traps that destroy wealth. Every financial bubble in history has been fueled by people ignoring this law. The dot-com bubble, the housing crisis, every cryptocurrency crash, they all happened because people convinced themselves that normal rules didn't apply. Wealthy people understand that sustainable wealth building is methodical and sometimes monotonous. They're not looking for shortcuts or miracle solutions. They're building systems that work over decades, not months. Here's what's fascinating about these 5 laws. They work together as a complete system. You can't just pick one or two and expect miraculous results. The truly wealthy apply all 5 principles consistently over long periods of time. But there's something else that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Something that goes beyond just following these laws mechanically. The wealthy have developed what I call wealth consciousness. They think about money differently at a fundamental level. Poor people see money as scarce and think in terms of scarcity. They focus on cutting expenses and saving pennies. Wealthy people see money as abundant and think in terms of value creation. They focus on increasing their earning potential and creating multiple income streams. Poor people work for money. Wealthy people make money work for them. Poor people think about monthly budgets. Wealthy people think about lifetime wealth accumulation strategies. This difference in thinking affects every financial decision they make. When a poor person gets extra money, they think about what they can buy. When a wealthy person gets extra money, they think about where they can invest it to make more money. The beautiful thing about these 5 laws is that anyone can apply them, regardless of their current financial situation. You don't need a high income to start putting aside 10% of your earnings. You don't need to be rich to start educating yourself about investments. You don't need connections to start being more cautious with your money. What you do need is the discipline to follow these principles even when it's not exciting, even when your friends think you're being too conservative, even when you're tempted by the next get-rich-quick scheme. Remember, wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. The people who get rich quick usually get poor even quicker. But those who follow these ancient laws of gold consistently over time build fortunes that last for generations. The choice is yours. You can continue doing what you've always done and get the same financial results you've always gotten. Or you can start applying these 5 laws today and join the ranks of those who understand how wealth really works. What's stopping you from putting aside 10% of your next paycheck? What's preventing you from educating yourself about investments? The only thing standing between you and financial freedom might just be your willingness to follow these timeless principles. The 5 laws of gold have been creating wealth for thousands of years. The question isn't whether they work. The question is whether you'll have the wisdom and discipline to put them to work for you.